Oh, hi. Sorry. I'm just working through my to-do list before I film our collective worship today. Just noted in my diary that I have put down St. Nick's. Presuming that means to get to church. Cannot remember why I have put in St. Nick's. Got so much to do. I'll tell you what, I'll just go to St. Nick's and hopefully I might remember why I've put that in my diary. But while I'm gone, why don't you guys play a memory game? So I will show you a big group of objects, have a little look at them, and then I'm going to take a few away and see if you can guess which ones have disappeared. And hopefully by the end of that game, I might have remembered why I've put St. Nick's in my diary. I'm not allowed to go into church. I don't know why I've got it in here. Oh well, I'll have a go. So here are all our objects. Pause the video now so that you can have a good look at them. And now we have taken one object away. Again, pause the video now and have a guess which object is missing. Did you guess? It was the cloud. The cloud was missing the first time. But there's another object missing in this picture. What could this one be? Have another pause of the video and see if you can guess. It was, of course, the scissors that were missing on that picture. And this is our last round. There's one more object missing. Pause the video and see if you can guess. It was, in fact, the coin that is missing off this picture. Hi, so I hope you enjoyed your memory game. I have just got to St. Nick's Church and I remembered why St. Nick's Church was in my diary. It's Remembrance Day, isn't it? So I'd written down in my diary to come to St. Nick's Church to record our Remembrance Day collective worship. Sometimes it just takes a little car ride or some exercise to re-jog your memory. The only thing is, it is raining. I'll show you. Can you see out the window? Maybe not. It's really raining, but it's in my diary. I'm going to record our collective worship and we're going to go in the rain. If people went to war, I can record in the rain, can't I? Let's have a go. Okay, hello and welcome to our collective worship. May the Lord be with you and also with you. We are on site this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are joining us, and we are at the wonderful St. Nicholas Church in Halewood. And as you can see behind me, I've got a very, very important monument because this week we are celebrating and thinking about Remembrance Day, which is quite ironic that I'd forgotten about it when you think about it. But what is Remembrance Day and why do we celebrate it? You might want to pause the video and in your classes answer that question. What is Remembrance Day? So Remembrance Day is when we first remember the end of World War I all the way back in the year 1918. That is before I was born and even before some of your teachers, and definitely before your mums and dads were born as well, and probably your nana and granddads too. So why is it so important that we celebrate it on the 11th of November? Well, that's when the First World War ended. Very, very dramatic. 11 o'clock on the 11th day of the 11th month. And it was actually the first year anniversary of World War I ending that the King at the time, King George, had a 2-minute silence at, you guessed it, 11 o'clock. So we keep that tradition up now. But it's not just World War I that we remember. We also remember World War II and a long list of other wars which have happened since then. Wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, people and soldiers are still giving their lives to protect others, and that is why we remember on Remembrance Day. Our collective worship is slightly different this morning because we have got 3 different craft activities for you to do to help you with Remembrance Day and understand why we have it. Now, the first one is to help us remember. I've said remember a few times, haven't I? The first craft is to help us remember, and it's going to end up looking a little bit like this. Okay, so I've made here a poppy wreath, but I've made it out of hands. Now, I've made loads of little hands, as you can see here. But what would be amazing for your class to do is if you all draw around your hand to make a poppy wreath. And here is a little video of how you can do this at home or in your classes. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper for this if you're doing it on your own, but you might also get away with just 1 piece if you're working as a class. And to begin with, I'm going to draw the outline of a hand. So you can either do it freehand like I've done there, or you can draw around your own hand. Now I'm just folding my pieces of paper into a bit of a concertina so I can get as many hands as possible. But if you're doing this as a class, you might only need to fold your paper once so that you can get 2 hands. So the idea basically is to get as many hands as you can for your wreath. So I'm just going to draw around what I've already cut out so I can make some more. My hands are definitely not that small. Okay, once I have cut all of my hands out, because I don't have any red paper at home, I'm going to colour all of these hands in a lovely poppy red colour. If you've got red paper, you can skip this step and you will have all of your hands ready. Now, what's going to go in the middle of our poppy is where you'd have all your poppy seeds. So I'm going to use a mug there to draw a circle. You don't have to. If you're good at drawing circles, you can just draw that. I'm going to cut it out and I'm just going to colour my poppy seed middle as well. Now we just need to glue all of our hands together. So if you are doing this as a class or a table, maybe nominate 1 person to glue all of your hands on to make your beautiful wreath. And the more hands you have, the better it will look. And in the middle of my poppy, I'm going to write "Least we forget," so we can help ourselves remember all of the people who helped in World War I, World War II, and all of the other wars as well. And I'm going to write those on my hands as well. So I'm writing things like soldiers, the land army, doctors, nurses as well. You can write, or if you've got some names that you might want to write down, maybe some members of your family or some friends have fought in the wars for us as well. And as I said, I'm going to write in the middle, "Least we forget." Now you can hang up your wreath anywhere in your house, but I'm going to put mine, just for the moment, on my window, like what we did with our NHS posters. There's my cats photobombing my picture as well. I'm going to hang mine up in my window for everybody to see. Now, what normally happens with our poppy wreaths, and you might have noticed lots of people wearing poppies as well, is on Remembrance Sunday, which this year is the 8th of November, we them on monuments like this. Now, this monument here is to remember everybody who died in the war. So we've got 1914 to 1919 for World War I, and underneath it says 1939 to 1945. Can you guess what that one is? That's World War II, isn't it? And what happens is people normally come and they place the wreath on this monument and they will say a prayer. So I'm going to put my wreath over there now. My wreath looks a little bit sad. Ooh, and he's fallen down. But do not worry, because I have had some friends helping me this week filming our collective worship, and here's how it should have looked. remember all those people who died, all those people who gave their lives for our freedom, for our country to run the way it is, to help us and to save us. They died so that we could live, and we remember all of the good things that they did. Now, the second thing that we're going to think about today is a prayer of peace and a prayer of hope. Our peace and our hope prayers are so that wars will end. That some point in the future we won't have any more wars like World War I or World War II, or this war which we're fighting at the moment against this horrible, horrible virus. So we're going to have a prayer craft activity to help us remember to pray for peace and to pray for hope. Let's have a little watch at this as we make our peace and our hope doves. This time we need one piece of paper, and again we're going to fold that piece of paper in half, and we're going to draw a dove. Now this is a little bit tricky, so I'm going to try and draw it step by step for you, and I'll keep it nice and slow. So I'm going to start off by drawing our dove's head and its little beak as well. So at the top of its head, its little beak, and then we're going to come all the way down to form its body and wave out to start its bottom wing. So again, pause the video as many times as you need to for this. And then I'm just going to draw its top feathers here, its top wing. It's going to go all the way up and then just make a little bumpy wing line, just a few little bumps to show that that's its wing. So now we just need to marry up the tail feathers and also the top wing there. So we're going to come down and flick up again and just make some more bumpy lines to make the tail feathers, and there is our rough outline of our dove. Now once we've done that, we need to cut that out so we actually get two doves because we folded our paper in half. My favourite little trick. And once you've done that, we're going to decorate our two doves. So for my peace dove, I'm going to do a rainbow effect. We're going to need some more colours. I'm going to colour in with as many colours as I have got in a lovely rainbow pattern. And my second dove, I'm going to colour my peace dove in blue because I think blue is a really calming, peaceful colour, but you can colour in however you like. And I'm just going to write peace and hope onto my doves as well to help remind me. And grab my lollipop sticks. You do need quite a bit of glue for this. If you've got sellotape, that might be better as well. I'm just going to use quite a bit of glue to stick those on, and there are my peace and hope doves. Brilliant. So because my peace and hope doves have got sticks, I'm going to go and lay them here at our memorial monument. And you might want to put these in your garden, you can stick them in your windows or a bunch of flowers. They can go anywhere so long as you can remember to pray for peace and pray for hope in these very strange times. Now, our third and final thought for our collective worship on Remembrance Day is forgiveness. It's really hard for Christians, I think, especially myself, when I think about war and I think about all the horrible things which happened during those wars. But thankfully, our God is a forgiving God. And he's so forgiving that he sent his only son, Jesus Christ, down to earth. And he did something incredible for us. He died for us, and in dying he forgave all of our sins, all the things that we've done, all the things that we will do. God has already forgiven us, and when we say sorry, he wipes the slate clean. How amazing is that? So today we're thinking about remembering all that people have done for us, praying for peace and also for forgiveness. To help us think about forgiveness, I have got a cross, but it's a very special cross because it's been cut out of laminated paper. So if you've got laminated paper, you might want to cut a cross out, or if you've got a whiteboard at school, that would also be perfect for this experiment. So that's what you need to begin with. You also need a cloth. What else have I got in my pockets? And you need a felt tip pen, and this is the important part. You need a permanent marker, not just any felt tip pen. You need a second pen, which is a permanent marker, which means that it won't come off, okay? And we're going to have a little thing about forgiveness. So the first thing that we're going to do is to get our permanent marker. Be very, very careful with your quotes. And we're going to write down as many things as we can that we want to be forgiven for. I think I'll be here for a long time. You can take a little bit longer on that if you need to. So I'm going to show you now. All of my things here that I've written down are in permanent marker, which means, let me show you there, that is not coming off. So I've written there angry. Sometimes I can get a little bit frustrated, a little bit angry. So I'm just going to try it with my cloth as well. That is not coming off. So sometimes we might feel that when we've done bad things, that they're there all the time on us. We wear them like a badge. If you're the naughty one in your class, that's it. You are always going to be the naughty one in your class. But that is not the case, because with Jesus' forgiveness and God's love, all can be forgiven. So I've got my felt tip pen, and I picked a nice love colour, a nice pinky red. And what you're going to do is this. Take your word, which you've written in permanent marker, and scribble all over it. Cover it in forgiveness and love. Can you see what's happening? I'm going to go over my anger. I'm not going to give it. Makes a very squeaky noise, doesn't it? And I am going to get rid of that sin. And I'm going to take my cloth and rub it all out. Can you see that my word anger has disappeared? Just like that. And that is how God sees us today. Even though we've made mistakes, even though we've got things wrong, he has got forgiveness for us. And forgiveness starts at the cross. And I'm going to place that at our monument as well. So thank you so much for joining us for our special Remembrance Day service. We hope that you remember those 3 points. And we're going to finish with that very famous 2-minute silence. And I invite you to pray for remembrance, to pray for hope and peace, and also to pray for forgiveness. Thank you for watching, God bless, and join us next week for another collective worship. We'll see you then.